So welcome to another Tony Too Tough video. Today we're going to be discussing what lessons that I learned in cold weather camping. Stick around. Cold weather camping in Florida doesn't happen too often, but when it does, you want to be ready for it. I've never in my life been this cold camping. Like I've never been up north to go camp in the snow, never been out up winter, anything like that. I'm a Florida camper. My biggest problem is usually sweating at night. The deal is there's a couple of things that I needed to get down that I had never experienced before, and I'm glad I did last night. So lesson number one, electronics and batteries and battery banks do not behave happy when it's cold. They just don't. My phone was acting up. My battery banks were definitely off. Like they were saying they were charging when they weren't charging, and my camera would shut off. All kinds of just weird stuff. So be prepared for that, right? So when you think you have enough battery banks, pack two more. If you want to put them in like your jacket pocket, keep them nice and warm, close to your body, they'll stay functioning a little bit better. They like that. They appreciate their electronics. Okay. Number two, when it comes to building a fire and you're trying to use that for warmth, and it's not a matter of just aesthetics and you're just happy that you got a fire and it's great and just keep heating up your water. No, this is about like how to keep this thing going so it's going to keep you nice and warm for the night. Well, the deal is spread it out, right? At least for me, this is what worked for me. When that TP style packing it up like this makes the heat go straight up. No bueno when you're trying to stay warm, right? Lay it out, get a big bed of coals, get it going, and then stack that wood out so that you've got heat across and this radiating as well as going up, right? So you want to catch some of that. I was generally comfortable for the most of the time. Next lesson I learned, you step away from your fire and you'll quickly find out that you're just going to freeze out there. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to turn into a popsicle at 27. I know people out there, negative 27, they're out there. And why, I don't know, but hey, cool, man. Good for you, bro. I'm a Floridian. It's normally like 95 in a shade over here. So, yeah. So when it's 27, like it was last night, and I step away from my fire, it is going to be just absolutely bone chilling cold. Like the tips of my fingertips were just like, ouch. Next thing I learned in cold weather camping was that there is no option to let that fire settle down. Like you need flame, like you need a lot of firewood. So this is the next one. When you think you have enough firewood, go out and double that. And then make another stack just as big. Then you'll be good for the night. Oak burns slow, right? Hardwoods, maple, cherry, stuff like that. I don't have none of that. I got oak and pine. I'm a Floridian. Like we have very limited resources. That oak tree behind me, that's awesome. They're few and far between for me on my property. 98% of the trees on my property are probably just pine. That's it. So the last lesson that I learned from cold weather camping is layers. It is absolutely 100% layers. So let's start with the very first one. Let's start from down to the skinnies, right? On the skinnies, I got myself, and I don't have any thermal underwear, right? So I just had regular under breeches and I put them on. And then I put on a tidy whitey shirt, right? I just kind of slipped, that was my first beginning. And then underneath that, I wound up having on my pants, I had a pair of pajama bottoms, right? And then I put my pants on top of that. And that was actually pretty doggone good. I had two pairs of socks. I had a pair of dress socks and a pair of wool socks. The dress socks went on first because I got holes in my wool sock, but I still wanted to wear my wool socks. So I had to put another pair of socks on. So that's why I had two socks. And then I had my boots, which is awesome. Moving up. So I had that tidy whitey t-shirt on, right? Next up, I had an actual like a full length sweater. Like it was like it's not a sweat, like not like a sweatshirt, but like a sweater that kind of goes over top of my shirt. And then from there, I had this puppy on. So shirt, sweater, and then this. And around my neck, I put my shemagh. Now I tied it around like it was a scarf. And I watched a video the other day from somebody who does cold water camping. He's like, look, dude, put that around. That's like, it makes all the difference. And he was 100% right. Absolutely made all the difference in the world. I wound up enjoying my time out here. Now, I also had, listen, we're not done. We're back to, we got one last thing on top of my head, not this hat, but I had a wool cap, and that was perfect. And that retained all the heat that I needed, right? If it got too cold, I would have put this over top of that, but I didn't need it. I was literally sufficiently fine with a wool cap, with my scarf, with my shirt, my sweater, and this, fine, right? My under breeches, and then I had a pair of pants on top of those and 2 pairs of socks. That kept me nice and warm. That was my base layer. And at the end of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning, when I made the acre and a half walk up to the big house, I was cold, like bitterly cold. And I was looking forward to getting inside at that point in time. So eat a good meal, right? Get your belly working, right? It's got to process all that good stuff that's going to heat you up, right? Um, and you know, I drank my fair share of hot tea. It was pretty delicious. It was good stuff. Wear some base layers. Layer up. Batteries don't act, and electronics don't act proper. They just need to figure their junk out, and they can't do it when they're absolutely cold. So just remember, pack a little bit extra battery banks because you're going to probably need it. I'm really thankful that I got a chance to try it all out. Before I went up north, maybe did a hunting trip of some sort, I had to figure this out beforehand, and I'm glad I did. And for everybody who came along last night to the live stream, I was just testing it out. I had never live streamed before. I got 2 new subscribers from that. I want to thank you for that. I do appreciate it. All the comments. It's cool. I think I'm going to go back and do that again sometime. But in the meantime, thank you for stopping by. You don't have to go too far. Sometimes you just got to go in your backyard and get your dirt on. So go on now. Now get.